Good.
Oh, we are. Oh, it's go. Oh, sweet. What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big M James _36 live in Indianapolis, Indiana, home of the NFL Combine. Um, Trying to get you that good information, the best stuff. You know how we do. A live stuff, big crazy. Um, Today the weather took a turn for the worse. If you can see outside, it's very gloomy. It's not snowing, but it's everything. It's cold. It's all that jazz. But it's still fun. So can't walk. I'm gonna get a ton of Uber fees today. But just left and got some content. Quarterbacks were talking on the podium today. They're gonna perform tomorrow. We're gonna probably have me and Denny link up. Um, there's going to be a thing today that could happen. I'm not sure it's going to happen. And we'll get into the housekeeping. This is what I mean. I've talked a lot about the relationship that I have with James Sr. I have not seen James Sr. since I was 17 years old. Apparently, James Sr. is driving up to Indianapolis to come see me. So if that happens, trust and believe I am going fucking live and letting the world see that I actually really do have a dad. But bigger than that, um oh shoot. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. I can
Miles,
hear
are
you.
still there?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Mm. I just can't. My headphones went out. I just couldn't. I can't hear anything. My headphones went out. So give me a second.
Uh-huh.
Give me
Yeah,
one.
we still hear you. Uh, well, in the meantime, what we got here? My downloads.
Hmm. All right. Well, we having all kinds of technical issues. All right. Well, no. Okay, we're back. All right, my bad. I couldn't hear anything. So, anyways,
Gotcha.
my dad is supposed to be coming. So we'll see how that goes. Denny's in town. Me and Denny hung out last night. Miles, I had Denny out here in these streets. It was hilarious. Denny is a whole different person. He is like the collective is
It's been
real.
a while.
The collective is real, people. It is not. It is the Illuminati. So, but first, before we get on that, Miles, if you can click on the first housekeeping item that we always talk about with you guys right now, because I cannot go on my phone. I need you guys to share this on YouTube, if you will. I mean, on Facebook, all the different things. Let people know that we are live. What we got going here at the Combine. Right now, if we can get to 2,000 followers on YouTube, that is the number. That's the number one goal. We are at 1632, I believe. No, 1633. 1633. We're doing better. We need to get that to 2,000. Once we get that to 2,000, we're going to give away $200 to a listener live. Once we get to 1,000 on my personal social media, this will be where we drop big game and Father Tom link up me and my dad. Some of the other behind the scenes stuff that comes on some good content. But if you want to get breakdowns of 40 technique, some of the exclusive stuff, the entire interview of what the Anthony Richardson interview, which hopefully we'll get it today. We'll also have Ant's if I could pull it up, his combine, the podium interview. We'll get that going. It's just gonna be, that's where the content, but that's for members. That's the benefit of being paying the $3.99 and or more, and you'll get that. So, but please tell people, please share, do those cool things. That's how we fundraise for a lot of stuff. So Battles In didn't drop the ball again for the basketball game. So the kids I took to the basketball game, Battles In was directly involved with that. They bought a whole section for the men's and women's game. It was really, really cool. Now, they were supposed to buy my tickets for the baseball game, but apparently there was a miscommunication. But that being said, I like to keep my words, especially to Jits. One of the worst things you can do for kids who come from disadvantaged backgrounds, like I did, or kids who are especially in the foster homes or kids with special needs, is say you're going to do something for them and then you don't. So I told them I was going to get them to that. I called FSU, and because of you guys who subscribed to Fifth Quarter, you guys who have subscribed to Den Media Group, we were able to purchase 150 tickets to this baseball game, and I was able to, or we were able to flex on the rich. So I said, MFTK, if y'all can't do it, we're going to do it. And we did it with Riley Elementary School. So what I thought was really cool is that they made, a lot are going to Boys Town, the USA, of Northeast Florida, Boys Town, Northeast Florida. Go check them out. Foster care for a lot of kids, a lot of guys who don't get shit, but, big game, big game's doing this thing. You want to make sure that they know somebody cares and that they're being rewarded for good behavior. And then Riley, these are some of the kids who are in special needs classes. So they got a chance to do performance metrics and they got to earn the tickets. And this is what they did. They put them in envelopes and the teachers distributed it to them. So this is what your donations go to, making sure that we're able to do more in the community. And bless you. So that's what I'm saying. Get to the 2,000. Somebody's going to get $200, and then some kids are going to get some shit. Not just Florida State games. That's just Tallahassee locally. We'll probably try to get them into some FAMU games during the fall, and Jaguar games and all kinds of other shit. Now, as we go into I'm telling you, this is me marketing the $100 section. So you would have come out, you would have hung out with me. And hanging out with me, you would have got a chance to see some of everybody. So the last time we did a show was Wednesday, and the first night I went to go hang out. I went and hung out with my local homeboy, teammate, Antonio Cromartie. So you would have got a chance to hang out with Antonio Cromartie. You got a chance to see Sean Payton. Me and Sean Payton got a chance to talk. Haven't talked to Sean Payton since 2006, since they cut me. You would have met the Minnesota Vikings DB coach. You would have met Von Miller yesterday. You would have had a great opportunity. And Miles, this is why we got to get you on board. We got to get you around here, dog. Me, Crow, Reggie Wayne are reenacting some of the best moments of the rivalry, FSU versus Miami, in the early 2000s, late 90s. So it was good stuff. And then yesterday, going to Prime 47, Prime 48, one of them times. But it was a party there. The first night I was out Wednesday, I was out till 5. Last night I was out till 3. It's just a big party. If you're a $100 member, you get the party like big game. You would have been on the couch. We would have got you a cigar. You'd have got you a free beverage. You would have heard us talk all kinds of shit. You would have heard about when Antonio Cromartie started a riot at a track meet and got kicked out of ACC indoors. You would have heard all kinds of stuff, and you would have been able to tell your friends. And they would have been like, you're lying. This is prime 48. So this is one of the after-hour hangouts. I'm in VIP, so you would be with me upstairs. That's me looking down at Gen Pop, the normals. Now, I want you to see there is a noticeable white man with long hair. Now, why do you say that? That goes to the next thing. The Illuminati is real. We have talked about this. We've heard Denny speak about this group, but there was never any proof that the collective was really real. I'm here to tell you, the collective is really real. If you go back to that other picture, Miles, the white man with the long hair, right there, I think not super long hair, but he's got a slick back. He's in the black. I don't know if we can put like a arrow or some shit around him, but he's the leader of the quarterback Illuminati. Black, you see the guy with the black hat. But yeah, so we may be trying to do some stuff with the quarterback Illuminati. Here getting some more exclusive content. Me and Denny, he said he wanted to cool out, he wanted to hang out, but he could have been drunk. But then Denny said he's always drunk. So he said you never know. So that is what we were doing. It was good to kick it with my friend. I haven't seen him in some time. I'm trying to see if there's some other cool shit. It's different when I'm not looking at it from my phone. But real quick, oh yeah, Martin Mayhew. Three Seminoles in football have gone from Florida High to FSU to the pros. The first one is Martin Mayhew in the black. He's the general manager of the Washington Commanders. I'm going to try to see if I can get an interview with him. He's been in the league for years, played at Florida State, played at my high school, DB. That big, large man with dreads and the big forehead, that's me. Brandon Jenkins, actually my little baby godbrother. His brother, Brandon Jenkins' brother, is the only reason I played football. He bullied me. And then that's three. And then hopefully we'll have another guy coming up here soon. I don't know what the other one, if that was all the clicks. Going into Jags talk. So at the combine, teams and with free agency having to come up, free agency is before the draft now. Guys are going to have to make some big decisions. And the Jags are trying to free up cap. One of the guys who we've always thought was cap, it wasn't any good, was Shaquille Griffin. The cornerback that Denny said has the smooth arms. First DB in the history to have no definition in his arms. Well, Buddy got cut. The Jags are parting way with Shaq Griffin, and we're loving it. So thank God for that. They're also going to franchise tag Evan Ingram, the tight end that everybody's grown to love. It's crazy. I got a friend, Sam, and some people who I think interactions are the new Coke. Like people just love to say shit, and it's not even really true. It's not even really a good statement. It's just a statement that's contrary to what other people believe. And one of the things that people were saying is that Evan Ingram deserves top 5 tight end money. And they're like, he's not even a top 5 tight end. And I'm like, have you looked at the stats? Because statistically speaking, you're correct. He's a top 4 tight end. And they're like, anybody can do the things that he did. And I'm like, well, I hate when civilians who have never done anything say shit like that. Because if it were that easy, everybody would fucking do it. But of course, it never is, and it isn't that easy. So shout out to the Jags for and I think with the franchise tag, they're going to sign them to the franchise tag and work out a long-term contract moving on, kind of like what they did with Cam Robinson. So shout out to the Jags for making moves in the cap and making things happen. Now, combine talk. Man, oh man. These boys was scooting. The bigs was running out there. And I love it. I am a huge fan of just solid, good combine talk. And the Jags have done their thing. It's the Jags are just not Jags, excuse me, the Jags. The big mind fart. The bigs are doing their thing. If you got it starts off with this guy right who is that? That's not the guy with the weird name. Yeah, just go ahead and push play on that, Miles. It's just sexy. It was a very fast track. So the guys perspective. If you run sub 5 flat, you're one of the fastest human beings on the planet. That guy ran 4.78. If he's trying, this is why I always joke with people when they talk about the stereotypes and being afraid of black people. If black people were as afraid, it was scary and as violent as people thought. Like, imagine this big motherfucker running at you because he's just naturally inclined to want to whoop your ass. You would be eliminated. I'm sorry to tell you, that's a large mammal coming in. Like, these are the times. So, like, let me go pull that up. So, but some of these times are just incredibly impressive by the bigs. And you got a guy on there that I really like. Isaiah Land ran a 4.62 from Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University. He made himself some money, but look at the University of Georgia. Nolan Smith, Robert Beal. Nolan Smith, and I think his video is in there too, Miles, somewhere, as well as the guy who has the name from the Key and Peele skit, which is the third fastest time. And then I never even realized that Louisville had a D lineman there. You know what I might do? I think this would be good. And somebody remind me. I'm going to just go get some of these names and I'm going to go around with a camera and just ask people like to pronounce these names. Just off rip. I mean, some of these names sound like a strong sneeze or just like even their last name, Isaiah. It sounds like a dirty word. Like Isaiah Foxkey, Lucas Van Ness, Thomas Enam, or Incombe. KJ Henry just sounds like, man, I wish he would have he's like, man, you done said all these other weird names. I wish you wouldn't say mine. But Adatomia Adabara. How y'all think I did on that one? Did I butcher that? Or did I do it all right? Yaya Diabetes. Or Yaya Diaby. Yeah. But anyways, I wouldn't want to make these guys too mad because they're really, really moving fast. Nolan Smith, who this one ended up being an actual this is his first 40 time, I believe. So if you could put the video of Nolan Smith's first 40, me and Antonio Cromartie were looking at it. We talked on Friday, I believe, about young men not being able to prepare for their high school combines. Like, this is what you want. This is how it's supposed to look. If we can get the video of Cam Davis running his 40 compared to this, Miles, you'll see like the differences. But look at this. Great out of the drive, stay low, knee drive, great arms, very violent. Knees are staying past the hip the entire time. He is covering ground. When he ran that 4.4, is this the this is the diabetes. This is the guy with the name. That's a large man running. So like, I think it's foolish to do that. That's why I say, like, these kids that keep doing these camps and these combines, it doesn't make any sense that they continue to perform or go at this manner or this metric. So like, you got to eventually give your body an opportunity to rest. What other videos do we is this the this is yeah, so let's watch this.
Davis.
And again, I want to make sure people realize I really like this kid. But his 40 is not the same. Something looks different than the other. Just stiff knees behind him, not great arm drive. He'll get better. Quarterbacks are talking at the podium. Tomorrow they'll be performing. Again, hopefully we'll get Anthony Richardson. That'll be live. We'll have that in the members section for people to be able to check out. But I sent you some stuff, Miles, but I don't know what all you could get. But if you click on that first thing, I actually was able to post that one with some pretty cool audio with it, and that's that was CJ Stroud, I believe. No, not that one. Go to QB Podium Talk, Miles. Oh, yeah. So that's how packed it was. This is 8 a.m. Everybody wanted to see Bryce Young. And it was tough to get to him. That was me zooming my iPhone in at 2.5. That's how far back I was. I got closer as the other guys got to talk for CJ Stroud and whatnot. But you know, let's talk about this. Just play CJ's words, and we'll get more of this in the member section.
Yeah, I've had a formal interview with the Falcons. Met the head coach, met the OC, got to meet the general manager, and yeah, it went very, very well. Had a great interview with them. They're real fiery in there, real. They're kind of like big kids, kind of. They're just kind of cool. At the same time, asking really good questions, being very honest, and I appreciated that. So that interview went really well. And then I had what was the second question? I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of highlights their game, but for me, I think you can put on my film. I think I've been the best player in college football 2 years in a row, and I think I've consistently done that. And I think that honestly, I think I haven't even touched my potential yet. I think that I have a lot more to get better at, but I have a lot more to not only prove, not only to y'all, but to myself. And that's something I plan to do because I honestly don't think that I even got close to anything in college yet. So I'm excited to see what I do in the NFL. I think I've shown.
So one of the things, and I'll give props to the person who posed this question to me, Vashta, would keep blitzing Carolina Blitz. If you go follow her, she's awesome. I'm here where I do a lot of work with her and Sheena with the Pro Bowl, with the Combine and the Super Bowl. Initial takes. So Bryce Young is not competing with the drills. He's not doing anything. Bryce Young is a petite male. I'm starting to figure out, maybe, am I the only person that describes men like that when I see him? Because if you're petite, you're petite. You're slight. But he's petite, very calm. The type of guy, and I'm gonna tell you about some shit that y'all don't even realize what y'all be saying sometimes. My pilgrim was misguided. But the kind of guy that's safe, that feels good to be around. CJ Stroud, one, and I was trying to figure out who he sounds like. It's Wiz Khalifa. Sounds like Wiz Khalifa. But his confidence, Anthony Richardson's confidence, their stature, Will Levis, the quarterback from Kentucky, I believe just finished up on the podium. These guys look like football players, whereas Bryce Young doesn't. You got the ant that little clip?
Yeah, I got him.
Okay, let's play that. Play a little bit of ant.
That was another great interview as well. Just getting to know them, just getting on the board and just drawing up a few plays for them, and recalling a play that they taught me early in the meeting. That was another great interview.
I think that was his interview with the Carolina Panthers. They kept asking Ant, what makes you like good? And one guy even came out and said, people call you a project. And it was funny. Ant was like, nah, I ain't never heard that before. Could you tell me what that means? And Buddy was dark skinned and was red. And I was just like, so knowing Ant, I walked over to him, and a lot of people talk, "Oh man, that was a good question. You got him to open up." I said, "Hey, my dog was ready to square off on you. You want me to set up this? You want me to set up the fade?" I said, "I can get the fade, the one-on-one, the exclusive fade with Anthony Richardson for you trying, my dog." But Ant did a very good job handling a lot of, I'll say, interesting questions that were brought to him that I personally believe were kind of bullshit. But Ant didn't do bad. He did pretty good. So that was just that was my takeaway from that, is that you got guys who are very confident and are going to do everything. They can't. Anthony, one of the things that Anthony said in this is that I came to perform. I didn't come to sit. I did a lot of training, and I plan to do everything. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's make it happen, Ant. I think it's dope.
Is there anybody who's trying to hide or like not performing or doing certain workouts noticeably?
I would say Bryce Young. Bryce Young's not performing. Like, there's no other way to kind of say it. Like, he's not getting up, he's not throwing, he's not doing anything. Whereas Ant's like, they asked, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Everything." And that speaks volumes. So, I mean, and I think CJ Stroud, Will Levis, and Ant are the guys who everybody is expecting to put on a show. From what I'm being told, though, is that out of all of them, they expect Will and Ant to perform the best, and CJ might not perform as good as what people were expecting. So that's what I'm being told, and that CJ Stroud might be babying injury. Brandon, you'll be able to see Jamie Robinson, if you can put that up on the screen, Miles. Brandon Farmer asks, what can we see, or when can we see our no players in the combine? We only have one, and that's Jamie Robinson, and the DBs performed today. Michael Morris brought up a good point. We got to remember Tom Brady was petite too. No. Tom Brady was like 6'4". He's just frail. Bryce Young is 5'10", maybe 185, probably smaller. Like, he is a slender tender, like a slim shawty. Doesn't mean he can't play though. Drew Brees was petite. That would have been a better example, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, guys got to perform. So whether you know, either you're going to do it or you're not. But I think the confidence that was shown by some guys just gives me a little bit more comfort if I was one of the guys. So I think it's going to be great. I think you're going to see a lot of machismo tomorrow. I think you're going to see a fast track today from the DBs. I think tomorrow you're going to see some of the most athletic QBs that you haven't seen in a while. Good questions. See, these are good questions that help extend this stuff. I heard a birdie say Levis has been training with a different quarterback trainer who may lower his stock because his manager pointed him in that direction. I don't know how true that is, but I can find out. I can find out who his quarter. Actually, let me see if he'll respond to me right now. And we may be able to get that answer while we're here. Is Will Levis quarterback trainer? All right, so we'll find that out. But I heard he was doing very well. And like he looks the part, he looks strong. He's training with Jordan Palmer. Jordan Palmer's a good quarterback coach. Yeah, I don't really know. You know, a lot of people are saying things about Quincy, but I've never heard anything about Jordan Palmer. Jordan Palmer, for people to know, is Jordan Palmer did train Trevor Lawrence going into the draft. Trevor trains with Denny and 6 points in the quarterback collective now. But there was some things that they cleaned up, but I've never heard that Jordan Palmer wasn't really doing that great. So you can't get that kind of feedback and answers really, really quick. I can go ask the experts. If I don't know it, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna find out who does know. Grant Gray, what time do you think AR will run? I'm gonna go with 4.45. He's ran a 4.39 at camp, and he's ran a 4.55. That being said, I think if he runs under 4.6, it's a good day. And he shouldn't run it again. But I think he's planning on jumping stupid high. He's 246 pounds, by the way. Isaiah Land there or any other Rattlers. Isaiah Land, I just talked about Isaiah, Chris. He ran a 4.62. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my credential fast enough to be able to go interview Isaiah. I was trying to get him today, but he's probably been to bounce. He's doing his bench pressing and getting on the airplane. I think he did enough to warrant some good things. I think he will get a lot of guys going to FAMU's Pro Day, and he'll get a lot of individual workouts. But let me find Jit's name. He didn't get invited here, but I think he did enough at the HBCU Combine that made that turned enough heads. And I'm trying to see his name. Is it Xavier Smith? He's a wide receiver from FAMU. Yeah, right here. So Showtime _ 863. My man, I think he trains with my boy Rod down in Polk County, which I think is awesome. Miles, I talked about why I really like Ant and the fact that he honored Denny and trained with him on the show, right?
Yeah, you mentioned it briefly.
Okay, so Showtime 863 did the same thing. If you go to FAMU's football at FAMU _ football, they Xavier Smith's his name. They show a good clip of Steve Smith talking about how good this young man is. Steve Smith, big wide receiver for Carolina Panthers, never held his tongue, always talking about the best. I have no idea who's going to be the fastest DB. I do think, from what Crow told me, I don't know if it was a DB or a running back, but he says he has one guy that he thinks is going to go 4.10 or 4.1. And I told him I doubt it. I doubt very seriously anybody's going 4.1. That's cooking. I think next year you'll see Tallahassee, Florida, a lot better represented in Indianapolis. Got a chance to interview Will Mallory as well. Ask him who he hated more for the state of Florida. If you want to know the answer to that question, pay $3.99. Become a member of the community. You'll see it. Trying to think what else in regards to that. If y'all have questions, fire away. And then what we will do soon, guys, is if we'll give you that phone line for members. There's nobody else that I'm just overly excited to see. I'm not even gonna hold you. The person that I came to see was Anthony Richardson. And that's it, really. Next year we'll have more Knowles. So I'll probably pay attention a little bit more to who's coming in. Jags drafting at 24 kind of messed us up like what I would normally have, because 24 is like a high second round draft pick. Like we could get an offensive guard and we need that. We can find another safety, but you don't have to draft one at that position. You don't need a wide receiver. You can go for another tight end. I would love for Jalen Carter to fall to 24 and to actually draft him and try to rehab his character. Big game. What DB and safety fit for the Jags that you see them drafting with their first round? I don't see them drafting a DB in the first round. But that would be my answer to that. But I'm trying to multitask. What else we got? So, all right. Moving on from the draft, unless you guys have more questions. The NFLPA has done something to try to make like a blue book, or is it a green book? Like, so, okay, so African American history fact, even though we're not in February anymore. I'm with the ugly dude from the Golden Skin Warriors. What's his name? Draymond Green. I believe it should be taught year round. There should not be a month. That's why they should just talk to people the way they should be talked to. So there used to be a book for African Americans, and when they were saying the same rhetoric that they're saying now, that they're safe, that nobody's picking on people, there was a book that was for safe places and safe hotels where African Americans could travel. Because believe it or not too long ago, I couldn't stay in a hotel like I'm staying in right now, and because I was black. Me and Denny would have had to stay in separate hotels in a world that wasn't too far. This is like a green book for NFL players. So the NFLPA came out with NFL player team report cards, and there's a website. And what the NFLPA says, one of our jobs as a union is to improve the overall working conditions for our players, which includes the daily experience of players at team facilities away from the lights and cameras. 1,300 of our players provided information to share with one another about their current club to not only help them make important career decisions, but also help raise standards across the league. Our goals were to highlight the positive clubs, identify areas that could use improvement, and highlight the best practices and standards. To learn more about the background of this initiative, read a note from President J.C. Treader here. Each team's individual report card. So before we get into those individual report cards, let's highlight some of the teams that didn't get too great of an overall report card, or they got some marks that were extremely bad. So Miles, if you can go look at the click on that first one under NFL free agents house guide. So this is the Baltimore Ravens discussing how they feel about the strength and conditioning staff. So, one, I don't think you should be paying attention to your strength and conditioning staff when you're like this, but there are workouts and stuff that they do. So the Baltimore Ravens got a C plus for their treatment facilities. They got a B minus for nutrition. They got a C plus for weight room. They got an F for strength staff. They got a C for training room, but they got a B plus for training staff, which means that their training staff probably would have got an A if their treatment facilities and the training room were at least a B, but they were below par. They got an F for the strength staff. Their ranks were 18th, 13th, 22nd, 32nd, 21st, 5th, and 4th. So, like, things that they're not even, it doesn't show up on this one. Hold on. Let me click on the Ravens. It's on this website, and we'll put the link in the description. You can get a report card. They give you an overview. So the Ravens ranked 17th overall out of 32 teams. They like the locker room. They like the travel accommodations. They hate playing there. So the overview, the Baltimore Ravens come in ranked 17th. The main areas of concern stemming from player respondents are the desire to improve the quality of their food, weight room equipment, recovery sources, and strength staff. At the core of these issues is the team's former head strength coach, Steve Saunders. They fired him, so hopefully that'll improve. Assessment of him by the players was marked negative. Only 38% of the players felt that they received an individualized plan for strength training. And many complained the training room is understaffed. The players do believe the owner's commitment is high quality, and 100% of them believe he is willing to invest in upgrades. Now, if you can go back to the tweet that Miles has in here, these are players co-signing that the strength staff sucks and that their careers were hampered because of the strength staff. You never want that. Now, going to the next tweet, and then we'll go into some of the better ones and the worse ones. But the Arizona Cardinals owner, Bidwell, is extremely cheap, apparently. He makes the players pay for their own food. He makes the players do a whole bunch of other stuff. It should be the next, that one. If players would like dinner, it would be boxed up for them, but players reported that the team will charge you via payroll deductions. That is apparently, they're the only club to do that. Players reported that if you work out at the facility after the season is over, the team charges you for every meal eaten at the facility. They are the only team to do that. Typically, the food is served. You take to-go plates, especially if it's good. That being said, I don't know why people were taking to-go traits, because the treatment of facilities, the Cardinals got an F. Nutrition, F. Weight room, F. Training room, F. Training staff, a B. Strength staff, an A minus. So F's across the board. So the Carolina, that must make them like 31 or something. They got to be pretty bad, right? They're 31st. Yep, I got it on the head. They're second to last in the overall clubs. The locker room does not have the confidence of the owner. Or the locker room does not have confidence that owner is willing to upgrade the facilities. consistent sentiment from player response was that ownership does not provide a high-quality workplace. Club policies reflected the lowest rate of confidence. That's bad, man. I want to know who the worst team is. Now, moving from to what I care about to what's going on, the Cowboys, I guess if you're going to be racist like Jerry is, you better make sure that you take care of your colors. And they're not even number one. The Cowboys rank 5th out of 32 teams. A+ treatment and facilities, top number 1. Food, A1. Weight room, A1. Strength coaches, A1. Training room, B. Training staff, A-. Locker room, A1. And for something that kind of strikes me weird and odd, but then not really. I hope I see it again tonight so I get a better picture. Because I would figure Jerry Jones travels first class everywhere. But then again, Jerry is up here in a damn bus. Like he's a multi-billionaire. But I figured they would travel a little bit better. But one thing I have always heard is that Jerry loves his players, man. They have a family room and they have a family daycare. They have a post-game gathering area. They provide 3 square meals a day. Big weight room. Most of the players don't feel, they feel like it's understaffed. I think that's how everybody feels, though. They have a steam room. They're one of only 6 teams in the league that do not provide a sauna, though. Locker room has enough space. Oh, I guess they have 78% of the players feel like they have enough room to spread out. So they also have one of 7 teams that do not offer first-class seats to their players. Oh, so it's a little, but that's kind of, you're a little bit big. I'm going to look at the Carolina Panthers because they started with the Jags. I'm going to read the Panthers, the Jags, and then, Miles, I want to go with Coach Kev's response. I want to break that down. The Panthers rate 12th. The treatment facilities, A. Food, D. Weight room, B. Strength coaches, A. Training room, B-. Training staff, A+. Locker room, B+. Team travel, B+. New owner helps with that. They have a family room and daycare. They provide all 3 meals. 38% of the players say there's enough room for everyone in the cafeteria. So they just want to be able to chill and hang out. And this is wild because typically this reflects the head coach. And they just got rid of Matt Rule. So let's look at the Jags since that's who a majority of our guys listen. The Jags report card, 28th of 32 teams. Treatment of families, F. Food service and nutrition, D. I can see that. Weight room, D+. I kind of like the weight room, but yeah. Strength coaches, A-. Good strength coach. Training room, D. Training staff, A. Locker room, D. Yeah. Team travel, B. So at least Shad is making them do. Here's what they say. One of 14 teams that do not offer a family room. Because there is no players' family room offer, players' wives have to feed the tit to their babies on the floor of a stadium's public restrooms. One of 11 teams that do not offer daycare at the stadium. Post-game gathering area, 27. They provide all 3 meals. I just think they just don't like the food because they don't have a real cafeteria. they kind of cook and then they meet in the stadium. But I think one thing that Jags fans got to realize is that they are building a new facility. So I think there will be some changes that will come with that. They don't have no players reported that 3 to 4 weeks this past season, there was a rat infestation in the locker room and laundry. And we talked about rats. The stadium got shut down. So going to Coach Kevin 77's question. Well, I'm noticing you're not green, Coach Kevin. You're asking a lot of questions to not have a green. Just messing with you. That's crazy that NFL teams can't keep up with some of these college programs when they're supported to set the standard, or they're supposed to set the standard on facilities and trainings. Well, here's overall compass of things. So while the Jags scored poorly, right? What did the Jags end up in? Playoffs. The Vegas Raiders score high with the new facility. Can't smell the playoffs. The Chargers score poorly. They're in the playoffs. The Texans score highly. They can't win. Kansas City Chiefs don't score as high as you would think. Super Bowl champions. The Dolphins have all A's and 1 C. Terrible. The Vikings, best facilities, best everything. The Patriots are the epitome of mid. Eagles probably have the best team with the highest score of facilities. And what I mean by that is that nobody really cares. So when I went to New Orleans, I had a metal locker. The facilities were worse than what I had at Florida State. The food was better though, but I think that was because it was New Orleans. But you don't really, because what happens is this: you're getting paid a lot of money. So I'm going to have my own nutritionist. I'm going to have my own strength coach. If I really need something, I'm going to get extra treatment on my own. So a lot of these players are doing things on their own. But there is also good times. If you're spending a lot of time there, you want to make sure that these players have the top notch of everything. But these guys are not investing what you think they are into these players. Now, last but not least, at 8 o'clock is the mere fact that just women are evil. Nobody, the most evil and toxic woman on the planet is Larsa Pippen. I said pimping, and I probably said it right. Poor Scotty. Scotty got a whole documentary named after him, basically, with Michael Jordan's basically telling everybody that he had to spoon feed him shit and make him into who he was. And now he got his wife out here making him look crazy in these streets. From Future making a song, as we all know, I just fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip-flops. It was dedicated to Larsa Pippen. She's gone wild. I don't know what happened in their relationship. To be honest with you, I think when you have kids, as a man or a woman, you should not be wanting to embarrass your fucking kids. And this is embarrassing. And if this were a man, we would talk about grooming. We would talk about it's weird and all these things. And I'm sure there are some women with sane minds who are saying this. But Larsa Pippen says, yes, I've met the parents. MJ is okay with me dating Marcus, which is one of the 31-year-old son of Michael Jordan. Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan have reached the meet the parents level of their relationship, which means Scottie Pippen's ex-wife spoke face-to-face with Michael Jordan about dating his son. The 48-year-old Larsa opened up on going full boyfriend and girlfriend with Marcus, who's 32, on the Tamron Hall show. She said Marcus' mom and pops have no issue with them coupling up, despite, and I don't know if you guys can feel or smell the petty in this, despite MJ's well-documented beef with his on-court wingman over the years. I wonder how tall Larsa Pippen is, because it may support this scripture I read in Galatians. Let's see here. Where's Larsa Pippen height? And Larsa got a son that's actually balling right now. Of course, guys. Oh, she's 5. She's 5'2". Let's see here. Where's my? Got all these damn screens. Oh, right here. All right. So Larsa's 5'2". Let's look at this picture of her. I don't think she has a big forehead. Nope, she doesn't have a big forehead. Just try and do some research here, guys. Short women are. She's not like, I don't know what she is. She's white. So if I say something, if I said she was light skinned, I could say the comment, but I don't want to say anything that's going to get me jammed up by the white delegate by the white delegation over a joke. Hold on. I know I shared it. I had a lot of short women in my comments, a little upset with me when I shared this scripture I read. Oh, side note, Miles, did you realize the other day that it was the anniversary of Anthony Mason's death? Anthony Mason, who Biggie wrote a song about. Here we go. Evil Women Rankings.
But nah, the robbery
Evil
song.
Women Rankings. Short women. She ain't got no big titties, no glass. Okay, she just got one of the 4, so she just got heavy on the short. Some women are evil, and some women just deserve less. Not all. And I'll end it with this. Michael B. Jordan has come in and basically proven the point that none of y'all would like Russell Wilson if he wasn't rich. And nobody would like Michael B. Jordan if he wasn't famous. He would just be a handsome nerd. And then there's a lot of things that are going on. Joe Budden got called out by one of his people, which I love, because Michael B. Jordan was slaughtering the smithereens, beating the guts up of one of his exes. And Joe Budden said he was corny and was a bitch for basically coming at the girl who called him corny and a bitch. It made his life hell. Women don't like good guys until good guys become like, let's just be honest. Lie to your pastor. Don't lie to me. You don't want a good dude. You want a good-ish dude. But you want all the benefits of Future and what's perceived with Future. Like, you feel like he can protect you and do some shit that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat a little bit. Coupled with the benefits of having a responsible male. These are the comments. These are the comments that you women make about the Michael B. Jordans of the world. Michael B. Jordan is cute, but he doesn't have any edge. He just looked like IDK responsible. He looked like he know where his birth certificate at, like the original birth certificate. And when you see something like that, you're just like, where's this world coming to, man? That's why I'm going to raise my sons to be goodish. Keep the asshole. Keeps them on edge. Appreciate you guys coming hanging out with me. Please, please tell a friend. Get us to 2,000. We need to get the members up. We're going to be dropping some stuff in there. $3.99, the lowest membership. You don't have to go for that one. You also don't have to go for the 99 one. But find somewhere in the middle, in between time, to be able to do that. We'll be dropping the Anthony Richardson stuff. We'll be dropping more combine coverage, more cuts, more stuff like that. Hopefully we'll be just banging out content here, man. But other than that, man, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. I'm going to try to go get me some food. And I'm going to see if I get a chance to meet my dad. I haven't seen him. I'm 38, so that's 31 years. No, 21 years, excuse me. So, yeah. I'm not going to do what I did when I was a kid, Dad. I'm not for to sit in the couch with my bags packed and wait. I'm going to go do what the fuck I got to do. But I am going to be extremely surprised if this shit does happen. So, love you guys, man. I'll talk to you guys next week, and we'll have some more content coming up.